Hello, everyone. My name is Alexandra Orlando. I am the community manager at Kitfox Games based in Montreal, Canada. Thank you all for inviting me to speak to all you fashionable people today. I'm so excited to tell you a little bit about what I do and why fashion is so important when it comes to video games. But today I'm going to be specifically focusing on Boyfriend Dungeon because I think it's the perfect example of why fashion is so important in games. And I'm specifically coming from a position where growing up, I saw a bunch of weird things when it came to fashion in games. There wouldn't be really a lot going on fashion-wise in some of the games that I played growing up. So, for example, you can see the Mortal Kombat character on the right is probably like very a typical video game character, especially female video game characters, which were and still are very heavily sexualized in a lot of the market. Another thing we're seeing is a lot of designers and luxury brands step into the world of games and fashion. So, for example, on the left, we have a picture from the League of Legends Louis Vuitton collaboration, where they actually drew these League of Legends characters wearing outfits on past Louis Vuitton runways. They also had a special collaboration event. They also had tie-in items. And you can see the same thing with Longchamp and Pokemon Go as well, where you can get the physical item in real life, but also the digital version in the game. And then on the bottom right is a screenshot from the Balenciaga video game, which is really difficult to describe in the short presentation. In Boyfriend Dungeon, which is a dating sim, we have to make sure that when the player is interacting with their characters, they understand a little bit about who they are, what kind of things they like. And you can see that we've gone through a few different iterations of the characters. Valeria, the character on the left, used to have these like jeans that were very neat and a vest and all the necklaces and the bracelets. And some of that has stayed for the final version, but we have changed it a little bit so that she's more grubby, she's more grungy, and I think that comes out in her storyline, and it works with her character a lot better than something a little bit more refined, like a vest and a button-down shirt that's very fitted and the collar. And so we can see how that can tell the fashion of this character can change a lot of the perception of them. And same thing with Sunder here. We have his iconic abs where he's showing off. He has no shirt underneath. He's got the spiked leather jacket, but before he used to be more of a gym rat. And so you can see that design on the top right here, where he was a lot more casual. He would only go to the gym. And now he's a little bit more edgy. And we think that also helps with the character design as well, because he is kind of like the bad boy, dark, mysterious character, and less of just like a jock. And that probably was a really good decision with appealing to our audience and what they wanted to see and who they wanted to date. But it also goes with the villain character, which I think is a really interesting departure. We have his sort of unused designs on the right and his final version on the left, which minus the blue magic smoky thing, he seems like a regular type of dude as opposed to these kind of cyberpunk, futuristic, type of designs on the right that really kind of outs him as more of a villain character if you just look at him, and him being more unassuming with with the design that we went with was very intentional. We wanted a character that wasn't explicitly villainous by appearance. His villainous traits come from more of his emotional manipulation, and more realistic to what I think we all experience when we start dating, is that we're not always sure about who we're interacting with. So I think that comes out in the fashion as well. And I really, really think that this is not something that's always implemented in game design, but I think that more and more fashion is becoming very important for video game designers to consider when they're designing their characters. So I hope that gave you a little bit of insight into how fashion is portrayed in games and potentially what the future will hold. So yeah, thank you very much. If you would like to contact me, here's all my information. And I'll be taking questions at the end as well. Thank you.